Hello everybody, hello Nigerians. I want you to help me. Please share this video to get to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the leaders of the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. We are calling you to suspend the present Interior Minister of Defense, Matawalle, because there was accusation upon accusation on his person of his involvement in this insecurity issue that is bedeviling the North, particularly Northwest. The accusation was made by one cleric called Murtala Asada, who even challenged the minister that if his allegations was unfounded, let him sue him or let him come out and defend himself. Till date, none of the two was done by the minister. And what happened in Kebbi of the abduction of 25 schoolgirls in Maga have vindicated the cleric man. Because ever since this kidnapping spree began, there was never a day, even once, where people were adopted and were all returned without molestation, frustration, without injury, without paying ransom, and without compensation, until the president tell the interior minister to go to Kebbi and secure the girls. And the girls were returned safely, unharmed, unmolested, without ransom, and without confrontation. How? There is no clear explanation. From the withdrawal of the security before the abduction and up to their return, we have never received a clear information on what transpired. As Nigerians, we are demanding an explanation, and we want the minister to be suspended based on such allegations, and a committee to be instituted, or a committee of panel to be established, so that they should try him. If he was found guilty, he should be prosecuted. Or he is found if innocent, he should be acquitted. But the allegations upon him are too tremendous that we cannot look the other way. So we are making a call. Matawalle shall be suspended. That's our call, and we'll continue to call until this call get to the president. Please, people, let us share this. We have to save lives. We have to save our own.
Nigeria's current Minister of Defense is Bello Matawalle. Yes, the former governor of Zamfara State, the person who was the governor between 2019 to 2023. Yes, the same Zamfara that is one of the most terror-plagued states in the northern region. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is his qualifications for being the Minister of Defense, right? His background is that he started off as a teacher in a government girls' college in Morike and one other place in Zamfara State. Then he became a civil servant where he joined the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. And then he gave politics a shot where he ran and won a seat in the National Assembly, and he left the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. That is in 1998, and he has been in politics ever since. He held multiple political positions, including being a House of Reps member at some point before he became the governor of Zamfara State. And somehow, despite not having a single strand of military or defense-related experiences or expertise, not anywhere in his education or career, he is now in charge of national security for the entire country. This is a man who has never served in the armed forces, never officially trained in defense strategy, never managed a military operation, never worked in intelligence, and never handled any form of defense logistics. And yet somehow he is responsible for coordinating security operations against Boko Haram, against bandits, against multiple other terrorist groups and militant groups we have across the country. And here is what is more concerning to me personally. As the governor of Zamfara State, he could not control the insecurity in his state. Under his leadership, Zamfara remained one of the most terrorized states in Nigeria. But somehow, after failing to secure one state, He was put in charge of securing 36 states, including the FCT. And then we have the allegations. During his time as governor, he has been accused by the current governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, of basically frolicking with bandits. He has been accused of colluding with bandits, keeping bandits in the government house in Zamfara, paying ransom directly to terrorists, and procuring even vehicles for popular notorious bandit kingpins. When we say bandit kingpins, I mean people like Bello Turji. And if you think I was done, I'm not. Right after he left office, the FCC announced a massive investigation into allegations of extensive corruption, fraudulent contract awards, and the misappropriation of funds of over 70 billion naira during his administration. See, when I talk about politicization of insecurity in Nigeria, right, this is one of the very many examples of what I mean by that. When people with no defense experience, people with unresolved controversies, people who could not secure their own states, when these people are placed in charge of the national security of the entire country, it becomes clear that appointments are not based on competence, they're based on politics, on who knows who or who can do what for who in power. It stops being about governance, it stops being about protecting the people, and it starts being about protecting the interests of those in power. Now, whether the allegations are true or not, one thing here remains a fact. Nigeria deserves a Minister of Defense who has actual training, someone who has the training, the experience, and the expertise. Someone who understands what is at stake and is ready to be at the forefront. Someone who can actually protect citizens and not just hold a title. Because as of right now, we are in trouble.
One of the major setbacks the Ariwa people are facing is misunderstanding Islam. Islam is being misinterpreted by bad scholars out here, most especially amongst the Hausa community. They misinterpret the gospel to our people. Take for example the word jihad. Ask an average northerner what the word jihad means. He'll simply tell you it means to pick up arms and kill non-believers. Because that's what Malam interpreted. But the word jihad has positive forms. If you strive to be better than you are today, it's jihad. If you go out there, become self-sufficient, it's jihad. If you acquire a knowledge that will benefit your community, it's jihad. Sloth is a major sin, but you see full-grown healthy people in the north reluctant to use the opportunities and the gifts God has given them. Is a deadly sin. It's sloth. Western education eradicates that. Why do you think Boko Haram prevailed in the northern part of Nigeria? Boko Haram simply means acquisition of Western knowledge is a taboo. Simply because you acquire Western knowledge, that makes you a kuffar. That's what the Malam interprets. The Malam did not tell them that it is prohibited for you to pick up arms and forcefully coerce another person into accepting the faith. You allow him to accept Islam by his personal conviction and free will. These Malams don't even know that Al-Khawazirmi invented algebra and algorithm we use for our systems, for our phones and computers today. They don't know Ibn Sina's contribution to philosophy and medicine. They don't know Fatima Al-Fihir was the woman that founded the first university ever in the world. They don't know all this. So how do you expect our children to prosper, to make the most out of their life?
I am from the north, and if speaking the truth hurts anybody, let the truth hurt. You know, there are moments in a nation's history when pretending becomes more dangerous than speaking. And right now, Nigeria is in that moment. I mean, look around. The country isn't shaking politically anymore. It is shaking at the foundation of survival. You know, just last week, a brigadier general was captured and executed by terrorists. A whole general for that matter. And somehow, life continued normally. We moved on like it was a minor headline. Then followed by the Kebbi schools, girls abducted. Then in the same week, abducted Niger state students. Then the Kwara Church attack and abduction. This happens within a 14-day period, and the country is quiet again. Had this happened in the southeast, south, and the southwest, you and I know definitely that the country will not sleep. But because these are northern children, the outrage dies before tomorrow. Tell me, when did kidnapping children stop being breaking news? People keep talking about sovereignty as if the word alone protects a nation. But what kind of a sovereign is this, where terrorists travel across borders like tourists, storm schools and abduct students like it is a routine, and also have the confidence to ambush a military convoys at will and take a general like it is nothing? If terrorists can control highways, forests and villages, if citizens negotiate ransoms like just a regular school fees, if soldiers die silently without consequences, then what exactly are we calling a sovereign nation for? And the most painful chapter of this strategy is the North. Katsina shut down schools, followed by Plateau, followed by Bauchi states. Tell me, what sort of a policy is this? When a government starts closing schools like classrooms because terrorists dictate safety, that is no longer policy. That is a surrender. And if you want to destroy a generation, you don't need bombs. You shut their schools. And the North, already the poorest, least educated among the regions, most terrorized region, is again the hardest hit. And while our children are missing, while insecurity is worsening, while villages are burning down, our politicians are busy carrying party flags and planning for 2027. And let's be honest, some wounds are self-inflicted. The northern leaders have a major role to play regarding this insecurity issue of a thing. We released terrorists in the name of repentance. We gave them clemency, we reintegrated them, we handed them gun in the name of fighting insurgency. Now, the same men are welcomed, the same men welcomed are the ones killing our soldiers. How do you build peace by rewarding violence? I mean, how do you protect victims by empowering their attackers? You cannot build peace by rewarding violence. But do you know the worst part? Of all of this system that has failed, it is the same people that have stopped reacting. We are getting used to trust tragedy. We mourn quietly. We pay ransom quietly. We bury quietly. Then we open Facebook to defend politicians who do not defend us. Habamana. If you think this is about tribe, religion, then you're not paying attention. I just want us to think about this. The bullets don't ask if you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Christian or Muslim. They only ask if you are a Nigerian. And listen, this country is not collapsing because terrorists are strong. It is collapsing because our leaders are not fighting for our security. They are fighting for 2027. And the day Nigerians finally understand this will be the day things start to change. If we don't demand accountability now, 2027 will arrive, but a nation may not. Before politicians fight for power, I hope they remember there may be no country left to rule if Nigerians keep disappearing one school at a time.
At this point, yeah, I don't think there's anything that I can do to continue defending northern Nigeria, because the more you voice out your, what's it called, the more you try to defend them, the more they show you reasons why you should not stick out your neck for them. Our people have a huge problem, a very huge problem, which is not going to get fixed anytime soon. It's very painful to admit, but it is so incredibly, it's so sad to see that this is the reality that we're living in this country. Our people are being killed. Northerners are being killed. We are plagued with insecurity. Mukaɗai muna da Lakurawa, mukaɗai muna da Fulani herdsmen, mukaɗai muna da Boko Haram, mukaɗai muna da bandits. We have so many factions, so many militia factions in northern Nigeria that are actively killing communities in northern Nigeria, not just Christian communities, Muslim communities. They are actively raiding, kidnapping, killing communities in Nigeria. And one sheikh is saying they are misunderstood. These bandits are misunderstood victims and we should sit down and negotiate with them. While the other faction of the northerners are out protesting against Trump's invasion, instead of going and channeling that energy towards demanding your government to protect its people so that Trump will not have a reason or an excuse to invade you people. You are... And let me just say this. This is going to piss off a lot of northerners, but again, I've never been known to care. In a sane community, in a sane society, in a sane country, the treatment that Albani got would have been the exact same treatment that Sheikh Gumi is supposed to be getting from the Nigerian government. Because that man is openly sympathizing with terrorists, is openly calling for negotiation with terrorists. I don't know how negotiating with terrorists is a good thing, but you know, our government are known to be negotiators with terrorists, so that's not really something that's surprising, you know, especially given the fact that his values align with their own value, because, you know, sympathize with the terrorists, say they are misunderstood, rehabilitate them and reintegrate them back into society. How can I sit down as a northerner with anybody that sits down with, you know, common sense and, you know, a critical sense of reasoning? How would you sit down and defend things like this? How would you start defending things like this? Misunderstood victims. I'm actually tired. I am so tired, because what's the solution? Where do we go from here? What's the solution? Because we have a government that is willingly negotiating with terrorists and openly sympathizing with them and rehabilitating them, while hundreds of innocent people keep dying every day by the hands of the same people that they are saying are misunderstood victims. Justice in Nigeria is a myth. It's a big myth.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. You can listen to what the northern youth are saying about their people who are in government, the ones appointed into sensitive position of power in the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. We can see how they are criticizing them and calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to drop these people because of the wanton allegation against them and criminal offenses they've committed. And I feel like this is actually the right path, because you can't put somebody who is under an allegation, who has been accused of sponsoring terrorism in one way or the other, at the helm of the affair or in a very sensitive position like they are holding in Nigeria. It's not making any sense at all. So I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to listen to what these people are saying and do the needful, because Nigeria is actually boiling at the moment and there is no hope in sight. Because if people who are alleged to be committing a crime are the ones you're hoping on to quell this whole crime and bring normalcy, return normalcy to Nigeria. Of course, they are going to hold the country to ransom, and they'll be using the country, or using this business, using this whole insecurity thing as a business avenue to make money for themselves, because this has been what has been happening before now, and it's still going to continue to happen. So they need to do the needful and ensure they listen to this video, listen to what these northern youths are saying, so that they can remove those rush that they've alleged. This is my opinion on this. Kindly drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.